Hello everyone. Today's topic for discussion is formative and summative assessment. The core difference is their timing and purpose. First of all, let's discuss what is formative assessment. Formative assessment is a continuous diagnostic and remedial process conducted during the instructional phases. Its primary objective is to track student progress, catch learning gaps immediately, and provide real time feedback to both the teachers and learner to modify ongoing pedagogical practices. It focuses mainly on the developmental journey of learning rather than the final destination, which means the teacher gets the answer of why a student is struggling and also allows the teacher to provide immediate corrective measures. In this process, mistakes are viewed as learning milestone rather than a failure. On the other hand, summative assessment is a final judgmental and evaluative process conducted at the end of the specific session. Its primary purpose is to determine the extent to which the overarching instructional objectives have been achieved, assign final grades, ranks performance, and certify students for promotion. Summative assessment strictly focuses on the final outcome of learning process. It carries substantial weightage, directly impacting report cards, certifications, graduations of competitive selections. It passes the final verdict on the student's competence, on the program's ultimate effectiveness. It usually occurs at fixed intervals, typically at the midterm or at the end of the academic year. For better understanding, in common language, we can say that formative assessment is the assessment in which teacher keeps evaluating their students' performance throughout the session, but in summative assessment, as the name suggests, it is to be submit the final result of the student performance. Now, look at the comparative chart on your screen. These are some important points that you guys need to remember for exam. First of all, the major differences between formative and summative assessment is timing and duration in which these two take place. Formative assessment goes on throughout the session and the summative assessment takes place in the end of the session. Second, their purposes. The formative assessment monitors students' learning purposes. On the other hand, summative assessment assigns grade to the student's performance. Now, modification and purposes. The formative assessment leads to shift in immediate teaching strategy. However, the summative assessment leads to future curriculum adjustment. The formative assessment is for learning. On the other hand, summative assessment is of learning. The frequency of formative assessment is frequent and ongoing, but the summative assessment occurs at the end of the session. One of the major difference is their grading system, where formative assessment is not heavily graded. The summative assessment takes place to grade the student's performance. Thank you for watching. Keep learning.